Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Black Excellence in Healthcare, White Coats, and Real Talk podcast, the podcast where we highlight true Black trailblazers in the healthcare field. Excuse my voice. I've been doing a lot of yelling and screaming with excitement, though. On tonight's episode, we have a lovely, lovely guest, but I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Morgan Rigsby. I am so excited to be here tonight and just have a impactful and organic conversation.
Yes, absolutely. So, doctor. So you want to share with the audience your academic background, your credentials, and your professional experience?
Absolutely. So I went to Howard University for undergrad, where I received my bachelor's in science and psychology. And then I went on to Meharry Medical College in Nashville, where I got my doctorate of dental surgery, as well as my master's in health sciences. And then I went to Louisville, where I got my MS, which is my master's in science, for my orthodontic residency. I am now here in the Chicago area. I've been here for 3 years practicing.
That's amazing. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you look good too doing it. We need more nice looking orthodontics around. I know your patients be happy when they see you.
I'm happy when I see them.
That's good. So what actually inspired you to be an orthodontist?
Absolutely. So I always knew that I wanted to be in the health profession. I remember when I was a little kid and you're in preschool, kindergarten, and they're always asking you, what do you want to be? And for me, I just knew that I wanted to help others. And so as I matured, when I first got to undergrad, I actually wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon because I want to work with my hands.
Okay.
And then as time went on, I really understood that a good work-life balance is super important. So I wanted to do something where I could still help others, but also still have a little bit more flexibility. So my junior year at Howard, I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to be an orthodontist. I had just got my braces. So I got my braces pretty late. I was 20 years old and I was just so inspired by my orthodontist at the time. I am from Baltimore, Maryland, by way of Jackson, Mississippi. Okay. So while I was at Howard, I would travel back to Baltimore, y'all, for my orthodontic appointments. So it was I would say 45-minute train ride. So I was, determined. And as I was there, I saw how she floated around the office and she just seemed so relaxed and she appreciated the environment and I was inspired. So I said, you know what? I'm going to dental school.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Sometimes you get put in those certain places, because sometimes people are like, no, I want to do this. I want to do this. And then when they experience other, avenues, other things in healthcare, they mind change.
Mm-hmm.
So sure. That's awesome. For sure. I hear that a lot often.
Yes.
Okay. So where are you at? Where are you at now in your journey?
Yes. So I've been practicing. I just rounded off 3 years in July. Thank you. I absolutely love it. I've been in Chicago since I started practicing. And, I'm currently in Homewood. So I love the Homewood area. I love the commute, actually, like just leaving the city, having like a peaceful 30 minutes to just unwind before my day. The patients are amazing, the environment. So I am just very happy, very blessed to be where I am right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the Homewood area. So
yes.
It's a really nice, well put together community.
It is.
Yes. My medical assistant, our office manager live in Homewood.
Oh, look at that. That's so cool.
Not to be putting our business out like that.
You said no names.
Right, So as a Black woman in a highly specialized field, how has representation or the lack of it shaped your experience in dentistry?
Absolutely. I feel like for me, one of the biggest things is mentorship. So when I decided that I wanted to be a dentist, I actually decided I wanted to be a dentist before an orthodontist because when I got to dental school, I really wanted to go into my experience just with an open mind and ensure that I could get whatever possibility that I wanted out of it. So I decided to reach out to other Black women who were in the field because that's truly how you learn, asking the right questions. So I think that that's the most important thing is having that representation and not being afraid to tell people what your dreams are in order to accomplish them.
That's amazing. Mentorship is very important. So do you offer mentorship?
I do. I'm glad you mentioned that. I do. So ever since I started, I have been mentoring. So even now, I have a lot of patients that go to Howard, which has been extremely exciting to share that experience with them. And a lot of them are interested in dental school as well. So I'm always asking them, what classes are you taking? What is your major? Because I also want a lot of people to know, which is really important, that you don't have to just be a biology major or a chemistry major if you want to be, in the medical field, medicine field, farm, whatever, because you can just truly take those prerequisites. And I want people to not only have a good academic background when it comes to your undergraduate experience, but have just like a fulfilling experience overall. And choosing the major for you is really important.
Yeah.
So I talk about those topics. I talk about, how you can navigate through dental school, really making sure not only do you have a good mentor, but you have a core group of colleagues to really push you through. And I think for me, I went to an HBCU for both undergrad and dental school. And I always tell people it is the most nurturing environment. So that's one thing that I always would have people lean into. If you want a more nurturing environment, try different schools, whether it's a HBCU or your local school, wherever you feel most comfortable and you find that you have the best community.
I love the way you put that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That was awesome. Yes, that is awesome. So what barriers do you feel like that you had to face in your educational or your professional journey? And how did you overcome them?
Yeah, I feel like as far as barriers, I don't believe that I had many, which I am very, very grateful for because I asked a lot of questions. So again, just leaning into having a great foundation, because I will say when I first got to Howard, not knowing that I wanted to do dentistry, I would say my piece of advice for people in order to decrease the amount of barriers is joining different social groups, whether it's a pre-dental club, pre-medical, again, just laying that foundation and have those friends, those colleagues to really just push you through the experience.
That is important. That is important. Your support system is important. That includes your peers too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She gave y'all some good advice. So, where are you now? Well, I already asked that question. Now, currently, where are you at? But orthodontics is often about like transformation. So how do you see your work impacting like patients' confidence and just their overall well-being?
Oh, I love that question. I mean, there's been so many times where I have a patient come into the office and they're open and honest about how they may not be confident with their smile and how this is something that they've wanted to change for, years, and being able to see them step by step through that process is really amazing, because I think one thing that's extremely rewarding about the ortho profession is that you're really able to see these patients, let's say every 2 months. So you're seeing, little kids grow, not only physically, but again, just leaning into that confidence. And I think that that's one thing that I'm always excited about. And I think for me, because it's the profession that I'm in, I have seen it a lot to where I can explain it, but it's always so fulfilling when the patient can understand visually where they are in their treatment. And that is just one of the exciting things. I love to instill confidence in others.
That's good. That's really important. And you'd be surprised who you touch. Who be needing that confidence. Give them that little push. Like, yes!
So true. That is so true. Yes.
So if you own or manage your own practice, what advice would you give to other Black healthcare professionals or even students or the youth who want to, become an orthodontist or who want to get into dentistry?
Yes. So I feel like wherever you are in your journey, be as impactful as you can be. Show up as authentic, because I think that a lot of the times that's how people gravitate towards you. If they see you, just leaning into one of your earlier questions, like being a Black woman in this profession, a lot of Black and brown individuals want to see others in this profession. Yes. So if you're showing up organically and they're like, oh my goodness, like I can relate to her on this level, I am inspired in any way, I think that that really does speak volumes, because a lot of people want to see you not only as a doctor, but just an overall good person. And if they can see that when you walk into the room, I think that that's special as well.
That is. That is. And I love the way you put that too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Do you feel your cultural background influence the way you connect and care for your patients?
Absolutely. I think that one of the biggest influences for me, definitely my family and friends. Like being in an environment where people are very loving and very encouraging is always important. And so that's why I always lean into, if it's something that you have from your familial background or your peers, that's amazing. And also just adding on to that, the peers that we talked about. So really just surrounding yourself with people that you look up to or you're inspired by. I think that allows you to just take it step by step and really achieve your goals.
That's awesome. That is so amazing. Y'all don't know how excited I get to be able to be in this position to interview like real, true trailblazers. Like people don't know, like it's so good to hear other people's stories.
Yes,
it's so good to hear other people's stories. So have you experienced like any like significant challenge being a Black woman, being an orthodontist in the workplace?
Let's see. I think right now where I am in my career, because I am so young, I think that's one of my biggest challenges. I would say that it's a challenge, but it's also a compliment, you know, when I walk in the room and someone's like, wait, are you the doctor? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, I thought you were like an intern or something. And I'm like, oh no, but thank you. I appreciate that. So I feel like that's one of my biggest challenges right now, just being, you know, fresh in the field. But again, I'll take that, you know, I'll ride that young wave for as long as I can.
Yes, absolutely. Because you do look very young.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So what does Black excellence in healthcare mean to you?
I think Black excellence in healthcare means representation. Being able to see someone that looks like you is the biggest blessing, because I feel like a lot of the times that's one thing that we truly need. We need to walk into a room, see someone that looks like us so we can look up to them. And I think that that's extremely, extremely important. I feel like, again, like if I walk into a room and I'm in a scenario where I want to improve upon something and I see someone that I can gain information from, I want to be able to walk up to them and ask them questions, you know, be able to have that face-to-face time in order to grow as a person.
That's awesome. That's good. So which is going to bring me to my next question, which I didn't even have on the list.
Nice.
But you know, a lot of times, and within our Black and brown community, they be scared to ask questions. They be scared to, you know, I don't know if they feel like their question is a dumb question or anything, but I try to tell everybody, you know, a question is a dumb question. And the only way you'll know something if you ask questions.
That's true.
Do you have like any words of advice or anything that can like, you know, help them be a little more, I guess, not scared?
Yeah. No, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because that is so true. And I appreciate that self-awareness for others and being like, you know what, that may not be your personality. But what I always tell people is don't overwhelm yourself. Like, one step in the right direction is still a step in the right direction. So if you feel like all you have that day is just to introduce yourself to someone and ask for their contact information or share yours, that's completely okay. You may not feel comfortable, you know, asking a question, but you may go home, think about it, shoot them an email, or, you know, call them and schedule a phone conversation. I think whatever you feel most comfortable with, and then just challenge yourself daily to improve upon that, especially if this is something that you want to accomplish. Because I feel like in life, when you are leaning towards a particular profession or a goal in general, there's going to be some tough times, you know, some times of uncomfortability. And that's how you become comfortable in moments of uncomfortability. So yeah, just challenge yourself.
I love that response. I love that response. Yes. Challenge yourself. Yes. You know, you ain't got to do it all at one time. That's true. I like the way she broke that down. I hope y'all listening with that one. So what does that beautiful white coat,
thank you,
symbolize or mean for you when you put that on?
It reminds me of hard work, God's grace, resilience, discipline, determination, just a whole bunch of things. It just reminds me of my journey, you know, and being able to look at it and just be really, really appreciative of where I am, and continuously reminded that when you wear this coat, you are serving others And so continue to do that on a day-to-day basis, even if you don't even have this coat on.
Mm-hmm.
You're still wearing it, even if you're not wearing it. So just be mindful of that and know that what a blessing it is to be in this profession and how you can help people in so many different ways.
Absolutely. She said, even if you're not wearing it, you wearing it, okay? You wearing it. I mean, she dropping gems today. Is y'all listening? Y'all hope y'all listening. So on the podcast, I do a special segment called White Coat Confessions. So can you share a personal or professional truth like don't nobody really know about you that kind of shaped you into the woman you are today?
Nice. So the first thing that I can think of is I'm a 2020 grad from dental school. So we didn't have a graduation. And so for me, that was a lot in the moment. Like, that's something that you always think about, walking across the stage. And in that moment, I was a little sad. I felt a little let down because I wasn't able to celebrate the accomplishment in the way that I wanted to. But I gained so much more from it. First of all, the way my family and friends showed up, me and my closest girlfriends, we had like a small graduation, which was really, really good.
That's awesome.
And then my class in general from dental school, extremely close because we never had that, close to a final chapter. It never really felt like we left each other. So it was very, very important. And I feel like that's something that I find that's extremely special. Like you never know what blessing is going to come from a hard time. And I think my friends, my family, my classmates, we really appreciate it now, even though it may have not been the best time then. It just gave us a different experience and allowed us to be a really special unit of individuals.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
That is awesome. So what would you tell the youth about that? What advice would you give the youth about that?
Yes, about COVID.
I know the meaning of the whole celebration.
Yes. So the meaning, again, it's just a really, really special moment because it allows you to be celebrated. And most importantly, all the people that have poured into you throughout this experience to really see you. Because I think that's really one of the most important things for me. Like, sure, you've accomplished all of these things, but like your parents, your peers, your guardians, they all really push you to get to this moment. And they really want to celebrate you. And not only do they want to celebrate you, but you want to give them their flowers. So I would say that with anything that you accomplish, any small goals, any big goals, reach out to the people that got you there and just say thank you because it really does mean a lot to them.
Yes, it does. That is beautiful. So beautiful. So what's next for you?
So right now, I'm truly just focused on everything that I've laid down, like the foundation, just really ensuring that I am growing as an orthodontist, as a person. So, leaning into mentorship, showing up as the best doctor I can every day in the office, really making sure that I'm pouring into myself and pouring into others. And so I think that's where I am right now, just really focusing on the things that I've accomplished and the things that I want to do in my field and making things better.
That is awesome.
Yes,
I love it. I love
yes.
it. So how can the audience stay in touch with you? They want to be in your business.
Oh, yes.
I want to be in your business too.
Yes. That is fine.
How would they be able to, follow you on social media?
Yes. So I do have an Instagram. It is Dream Big Rigs. So that is DreamBig. And because my last name is Rigsby, it's RIGS. So Dream Big Rigs.
That is awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome. Now, back y'all who want to get y'all teeth fixed, it ain't never too late because I ain't get braces. I was like 26.
I'm so glad you said that. It is, and I told y'all I was 20, so it is never too late.
I was like 26.
Yes, and that's one of the biggest things that I noticed from COVID is that because people were wearing masks, they were more comfortable, having braces and things like that. So you're never too old to get braces. I always recommend, or I should say the ADA recommends that you see an orthodontist by the age of 7 just to get acclimated, understand the experience, know the doctor, know the office. So
Okay.
Just start when you feel that.
So they're young.
Yeah, that young. Yes, that young.
When she turns 7, girl, get your butt
Right. Just come peek through, see if it's time. If it's not, I'll see you later.
That's nice. Do you offer like any mentorship in your where you currently working at?
So I do offer mentorship. Again, right now it's truly just a lot of patients who reach out to me and people that reach out to me on social media. I do have an ebook as well that's linked to my social media page, which talks about, the 4 years of dental school and how I find it was best to navigate those 4 years. When you get to the point, if you want to be a specialist or orthodontist, and you get to the residency experience or the interview experience for residency, you can look into the questions that I have there and then just reach out to me, y'all. Like, I truly don't mind talking to other people. I get so excited when people are interested in the field. So if you reach out to me on social media, do not be shy.
Let's go back to this ebook because that went right over the head. She said that real fast. I got the ebook. Now, tell us a little more about this ebook.
Yes. So it really was inspired by a lot of people who had hit me up on Instagram when I first graduated from residency.
Okay.
And a lot of them were either pre-dental students in undergrad, current dental students, or people that were interested in residency. And I've always really reflected on the fact that if you're constantly reminded, I should say, about something, you should do something about it. So if someone is continuously saying, hey, I would love your advice on this, I would love your advice on that, I was like, you know what? Let me write an ebook because it also leans into what you mentioned earlier. Some people may not have the confidence or the comfortability to raise their hand in a big group of people and ask for help or go up to someone at a conference and ask a question. So if they don't even have to reach out to me. They can just go to my page, see the ebook, gain some insight. And then if they do feel comfortable, they can always reach out to me. That was another way or another reason I should say in which I wrote the ebook.
That's amazing. And I'm glad that you did do that.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so glad you did do that. So before we wrap up this episode,
yes,
I want you to look at the camera,
okay.
Look at the audience. And what would you like to leave the audience with? Whether it's a piece of advice or you dropping another gem or a little knowledge for them.
Yes.
What you want to leave the audience with?
I would tell everyone to not hold back. If you have a dream, go after it. Don't be afraid at all. There has always been someone in your position before. So reach out to others, take it step by step. Whatever you are comfortable with, do that and then challenge yourself afterwards because you never know where it's going to lead you. No dream is too small. So don't ever feel discouraged at all. There is always a way to achieve it.
Yeah. I second that.
Yes.
So I hope tonight you gained some insight, some inspiration, some knowledge, because she was dropping some knowledge.
Oh, thank you.
On tonight's episode. Please like, comment, share. I am on the Alive Podcast Network, which is an all-Black podcast platform. You can catch the video version on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Come on.
And of course, we on all major podcast platforms. Spotify, you name it, we on it. Okay? So Make sure that you're tuning in to Black Excellence in Healthcare, White Coats and Real Talk Podcast, the podcast where we highlight true trailblazers like I have on today.
Oh, thank you.
So make sure you share the word because this is more than just Black Excellence in Healthcare. It's a whole movement.
Come on.
So get into it. Until then, to the next episode. Good night.
Good night.